Hi, this is Joel from Blue Swing Media, and today we're going to be talking about why local businesses need a blog. Let's get started. Okay, so this is a common question that we get when we're bringing people onto our web platform and we talk about, creating content. A lot of times the first thing that people think about is a blog. Now, blogging was a huge buzzword about, 5 or 7 years ago. But it's a very good way to easily syndicate, push out new content onto your website. So basically, before the blog, what you would do is build a new web page on your website, and then when you wanted to craft more content, you would just build another web page. A blog basically is a tool where you can put your content in and then hit publish, and it automatically flows onto your site in an organized way. And so then your new post would show up at the top. Kind of like when you post new content on social media, people can scroll through and look at your different posts that you've made. You can also, on some platforms, search a blog, and you can also tag your posts and have them show up in different parts of your site. So that's a little bit about blogging in general. But let's talk about why a local business would want to use a blog and how a local business would leverage a blog. So if you're in a local area and you're trying to get ranking for certain search terms, so Google, someone goes into a Google search or Bing search or whatever, Google's going to try to figure out which website has the best content. A blog, what it does for the business owner who has a blog and has good content around certain keywords, their website's going to have more authority than a site that doesn't have any content around those keywords. So what you're doing is you're showing Google, not only do you have more content around a certain subject, but your website is being freshly updated regularly, and that shows Google that your website is active. So those are a couple of good signals. And then also, when you have content like that, you have something that's ready to be shared to your social media channels. Remember, I say this over and over again to my clients. I say, you don't own your social media account, and they can shut you down at any time. They can change their policies and you can do nothing about it. But you do own two things: your domain and your list of contacts. Those are your two most valuable assets that you have. So that's kind of the foundational piece about blogging and local businesses. So how to do this well. So you need to, when you're talking about local rankings, it's easier to rank locally than it is nationally or globally, obviously, because your target audience is smaller. So to rank locally, we need to consider two big factors: your keywords related to your business and local terms that people in your location will use and know. So it's much easier to rank for a lawn service in your city than just a lawn service in general. So you want to think about terms that people are going to type in when they're ready to do business. Not just curious, not just researching certain subjects. You can have some posts that are just purely informational, but the majority of what you want to do is related to what somebody's going to type in when they're looking to do business. So those terms matched with local terms. And when you do a post, the most important words of the post are is the post title. So your post title, you want to have your keywords in there. You also want to have a local term in there if it makes sense. And you also want your post title to be engaging. You want it to be intriguing. You want it to be an answer to a question. Something that if somebody saw this title would say, okay, I'd like to know that. Not just stuffing a keyword and a location in there if it doesn't flow well or it doesn't make sense. So you have your title, and you want to make sure that your blog title is in a title tag in the code. And most of your website editors will have this built in, but you know it's easy to verify that. And that is called a H1 tag. It tells Google that these are the most important words on this page. You also want to make sure that your post has a good description with some of those keywords in there. And then underneath your title tag, or your title of your post, just underneath there you want to have your subtitle, which would be the second most important words on that page. And then you also want to have something related to your keywords and possibly your location and your subtitle. You don't want it to read like a novel. You want to have a little chunk with a headline, easy to scan through and get some value, and maybe even a picture, maybe a little graphic. And then you can also put some helpful links in your post that maybe go to other parts of your site. And then also you want to have at least one, if not more, buttons. And your button is your call to action. Okay, so you made a post, someone found it helpful, and now you give them the opportunity to take the next step, get in contact with you, and work with your business. If you don't have that button there, they might say, that was a really helpful article. Click, and they're done. But if there's a button there that gives them the opportunity to, ask a question or get a free quote, whatever it may be, you're giving them the opportunity to take action if they want to. Okay, so those are really important parts of the post that you want to have in place. If you're in a local business, I highly recommend that you have a blog. I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you on the next